Hi, everybody. Hello. Thanks for coming to the Cookout. It's the hottest day of the year, so it feels right. It feels right to have a cookout today, don't you think? Awesome. I'm Rebecca Stummy. I'm a producer here at LAist, and I just want to welcome you all here to Culinary Connections for our summer cookout. And LAist acknowledges that we are operating within the traditional homelands of the Gabrielino Tongva people. Our facilities are specifically located within their ancestral village of Hahamugna. We recognize the painful past of displacement, settler colonialism, and erasure. And we have a complete land acknowledgement statement at laist.com/land, so I would invite you to check that out. All right, so I want to do a quick little round of surveys here. Who is here for the first time at the Crawford? Oh, amazing. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming. And who listens to us on the radio at 89.3 LAist? Yes, fantastic. And who reads our stories on laist.com? Wonderful. Anyone listen to any of our fantastic podcasts from LAist Studios? Great. This is where I tell you you have to listen to the Barbie tapes. It's fantastic and fascinating and really incredible. So check that out. You will not be sad. All right. That's that for LAist. And I want to say that your support means the world to us, and you make it possible to do what we do. So if you feel so inclined, you can go to laist.com/donate. If you want to keep up with what we're doing here at events, go to laist.com/newsletters and sign up for our events and newsletter. Basically, go to laist.com for anything, all the time, and you'll be all set. You won't miss out on anything. All right, so if in the event of an emergency, you can go back out the way that you came, or these doors behind the curtains over here. We are recording for a podcast tonight, so please turn off anything that makes noises. And I think that's it for me. And without further ado, I will introduce you to the host of this evening, the host of How to LA, award-winning How to LA podcast, Brian De Los Santos, and our food and culture assistant editor, Gab Chabrán.
Cool. How's it going, everybody? Thanks for the warm welcome. Yes. I'm here to hang out with Gab and our guests. I'm really excited because we just debuted our 9th Cheap Fast Eats episode. Yes. And that's our collaboration between us. We do it every month, and we tell the people the content, what they want to hear.
Right. So it's a monthly series, as Brian mentioned, where we visit a neighborhood and we try 5 different dishes, usually around $10. Oops, sorry. Usually around $10. So this most recent edition, we just visited Chinatown. The pod went up today, and the LAist story will be up on the website tomorrow morning. So be sure to check that out because we have some really great content. And if you haven't listened to the pod yet, please check that out also.
If you haven't, like Gab was saying, if you haven't heard to How to LA, it comes on almost every day. We're going to shoot Monday through Friday, starting September. So you're going to hear something different about Los Angeles. Politics, culture, food, what's going on, and then we always love to ask questions to the audience. And, we get audience feedback. We, sometimes go outdoors. We ask you guys to share your favorite spaces with us, and we put them on the podcast. Another thing about the podcast, it is almost our 1 year anniversary. So yay, How to LA is almost 1 year. It kind of coincides with my birthday, which is the 15th on Tuesday. It just passed. So, I'm a Leo baby, and the podcast is actually a Virgo, but close enough. A little bit more about what's coming. We're going to have more radio hours with How to LA and other LAist Studios podcasts. You can hear a little bit of How to LA every Wednesday on 89.3 FM on LAist Radio. So for those who love the radio, we will have a radio presence. And for those who love your podcast, and I'd love to hear it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate us, give us some love, and I'll love you back.
Also, really quickly, I think tomorrow on Morning Edition, we're going to be playing a 3-minute clip of the most recent Cheap Fast Eats episode too as well. So if you're listening tomorrow morning, make sure to check that out.
I want to ask you a question before we get started, Gab. We're here because we love cookouts, barbecues, carne asadas, and our very specific like LA connection to it. Gab, what's your connection to cookouts?
Well, it all started in my hometown of Whittier, where I grew up, and we lived in a house that had this brick patio. And my dad, he's actually here in the audience tonight, would start the barbecue up with lighter fluid and an onion to clean the grill. So the smells and the sights of the brick barbecue are where kind of like my cookout origin story starts.
I love that. And I'm going to ask you the follow-up question. What would you bring now and as an adult?
Right. So I would probably bring a salad, which some people have scoffed at, but I find the salad to be an extremely versatile sort of canvas. You know, you can do lots of different things with it, different vegetables, different fruits, textures, flavors, etc. Or a good dip also, a good salsa, maybe an onion dip. I've been really into making this onion dip lately with Greek yogurt, so I'll share the recipe later if anybody's interested. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at cookout-wise.
This is when Gab asked me what I bring.
Oh yeah, Brian.
Well, it's because there's shade to this, okay? I don't cook, I clean. But
famously, you don't cook.
Yeah, I famously don't cook. If you guys listen to How to LA, I always say like, oh, I don't really know how to cook, and God makes fun of me. It's no shade, but I am the uncle. I'm the fun gay uncle who will bring the drinks, or horchata. But I'm trying to lean into like the señora lifestyle, and maybe some conchas, some pan dulce. So hey, a little bit for everyone, different tastes. I will go to the store before your cookout. So invite me, please.
We just did an excellent concha episode too. So if you haven't yet heard that, please check that out. Visited some of our favorite conchas places. So you have good places to choose from now, right? As far as that goes.
Yes, we have definitely 3 cute places. Yeah. And now we're going to turn our attention over to our guests, and we're going to begin our introduction to folks, and people are going to come out, and then we'll get started. But first, let's talk a little bit about who they are. We're going to begin with Gustavo. He is chef, owner of Carnitas El Artista. Gustavo Chavez and his wife started Carnitas El Artista in 2015 by selling by the pound out of their backyard in nearby Hawthorne before moving into a street vending and finally opening the restaurant in 2019 in Inglewood, which is near SoFi Stadium, actually. Gustavo and his family are from Michoacán, Mexico, the state known as the birthplace of carnitas. I can hear the sizzle in the back, which are traditionally cooked in large copper pots called casos. Gustavo, can you join us? Far.
Okay. Next, we have Janet Kang, the self-proclaimed dough tamer of the Pizza Baby duo, who's been cooking as long as she can remember. Pizza Baby is a ghost kitchen located in Koreatown, serving up Asian American-inspired pizzas that she started with her partner, Robin Clois. Janet? And last but not least, we have SueEllen Mancini, who is the ice cream maker of Sad Girl Creamery. Sad Girl Creamery was started in January of 2021. She runs the business with her mother. Sad Girl's ice cream flavors focus on recreating classic desserts using Latin ingredients. The name Sad Girl comes from Sue using her social media platforms to share mental health awareness by telling her own experiences and sharing the journey of managing her bipolar disorder. Sue, come and join us.
So this is
welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. Sorry.
Welcome. Okay. This is going to be an interactive conversation. Jump in when you want to. Add your 2 cents. This is going to be like just a fun family cookout style conversation. So we're going to have some prompts for you, but please feel free to jump in if another speaker wants to say something to that question. Okay, we're going to start with Gustavo over there, since you're the first one who walked in. You started making carnitas in your backyard, right? Can you take us to the process? It can't really be more cookout than that.
Yeah, right, because it's in the backyard.
Yes.
Well, it's the backyard. It's where great things are created. So we, a little bit about my background. So I used to be an electrician before I went into the restaurant business. With that, I used to have a lot of buddies that want to hang out on the weekends and drink and stuff. So, naturally we'd have to cook something because we just can't drink and not eat anything. So, I didn't really know how to make carnitas, but everybody knew that I was, my family came from a place where the carnitas are, originated from, and, where they have that, popularity, to that carnitas, are supposed to be really good. So everybody's like, hey, how come you don't know how to make them? And I'm like, because I barbecue. So I reached out to my dad and I said, Dad, I want to make some carnitas. I want, who can teach me? And he steered me with one of my uncles who has been making them for a long time. And I made them for the family. I made them for my friends. We made enough to have leftovers. They took them out, and the rest is history. It just kind of blew up, and word of mouth got us to where we're at today. Yeah.
I love that. It's the cookout becomes the business, essentially.
We were pushed into it for sure.
And look at you now.
Yeah.
So Sue, you're originally from San Antonio, right?
No, I'm actually from Houston.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, my bad. So you're originally from Houston. Tell us about some memories of the cookout that you had in Texas versus some that you attend here in LA now.
Well, no one has invited me to their cookouts here.
We invited you to ours, so hopefully we're okay now.
Yeah, in Texas, there's Texas barbecue, but my mom, she's from Uruguay, and so we have a lot of asadas instead of like regular barbecues. And she actually grew up using just straight up wood and would wander into the woods and just bring actual wood back home to start kindling and cooking just tons of meat. Uruguay is pretty similar to Argentina, where 90% of the food you eat is beef. And so it's just used to growing up eating tons and tons of meat. Anyway, but usually all of our cookouts are centered around soccer games too. It's an excuse to party. Anyway, those are my memories for cookouts.
Any sauces or flavors or anything like that from your culture that you would kind of equate as part of?
Yeah, definitely my mom makes her chimichurri that goes on everything. I guess that would be our salsa. And then the famous potato salad in Uruguay and Argentina is called ensalada de rusa. It's pretty much potato salad like it is here, with pieces of carrots and peas. But she would always sculpt it into this really iconic giant pyramid.
Oh, man. So it stands up. It's three-dimensional.
And it's just is burned into my memory forever of the giant pyramid of potato salad, which I honestly am not even a fan of, but everyone else loves it.
Have you guys made it in LA since
Yes,
you've been here?
because I've told my friends so much about this pyramid that one of my friends was like, "Can your mom please make this for my birthday?" And she did, sweetly enough. Yeah.
I want some pyramid salad. I love potato salad. I don't even know. You just made it appealing. If she goes through the trouble of making it into a pyramid, I want to try it.
I'm thinking more of chimichurri ice cream, Maybe is that weird? But
yeah.
I was that sounds kind of good to me. But anyways. Janet, what's your favorite thing to bring?
My favorite thing to bring is probably macaroni salad. I know, so pedestrian, but it's just classic. And usually I literally look up Paula Deen potato or macaroni salad and chop up the bell peppers, celery, tons of mayo.
Are you adding any of your own sazon on it or anything like that?
Not really. No.
Keeping it pretty
maybe I'll
straightforward.
put extra herbs in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
For that
And
freshness.
make it unusually sweet because I'm Asian and
Okay. So you're adding sugar then if you're making
Yeah,
it
a
sweet?
little bit of sugar.
Okay. How much sugar are we talking about here?
Just this much.
A couple of pinches.
If you cook, this much.
Yeah.
We got to ask Gustavo the same thing, dude.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
You're leaving everybody out today.
I know.
heard a little. Yeah.
You saw him, right?
You got me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Ironically, I like to bring vegetables and grill corn and squash and broccoli and yeah, I eat a lot of meat, so vegetables. I go for that. I go for that option. Yeah.
Now, Sue already told us that she wasn't invited yet to an LA hangout cookout, but Gustavo, who's showing up at your carne asadas, at your cookout? Like, who's on the list? And I want to be on that list, just letting you know. Pero, like, yeah, if you're cooking at home, you're cooking for friends, family, like,
Are the Rams showing up?
The Rams are it'd be great. Yeah, they're always welcome. Little background on that. I don't know if you guys know or like looked into our social media. We got the first year that we came in, we had the Rams came and certified us as a certified Rams house in Inglewood. It's a program that they have where they support the community. And they came into our restaurant and they really supported us. We've catered the staff, we've catered the practice teams, and the players we're supposed to introduce our food to them this year.
And you made carnitas on the field too.
Oh, and that was for Grupo Firme, which is a really big Spanish band. They scouted Carnitas in LA, and they wanted the best of the best, and they felt that was us, and we were the first carnita, business to ever make carnitas.
You had the caso, the copper pot on the 50-yard line or whatever.
Yeah, they literally
it was, right?
had like 2 firemen escorts like watching me the whole time. And I'm like, I've done this a lot of times, I know. But who I invite to my cookouts, I can't even say that I don't cook anymore. My son cooks. He's 17 and he's a grill master now. So I get to sit back and watch him cook. And when we do that, it's just usually friends, family. When I say friends, it's now become a lot of our customers that have been with us for a long time who've supported us when they just kind of, they're always around and they're always with us. And it just kind of like, some of those customers turn into friends, and it's kind of like people ask us, how'd you meet them? I'm like, oh, they're customers. but hey, it's a cool thing. It's great to like meet people and get to know who they are, and they get to know who we are. And, it's like anybody, we find a lot of things in common, and we find them regularly at like our family functions. And I think that's pretty cool, And that's another key to our success is that, our customers are really close to us, and it's more of a personalized family, atmosphere when they come to the restaurant.
Yeah, I think we can all relate that when you work a lot, your work friends become your at-home friends too as well.
Right.
Gab hasn't invited me yet. I haven't invited Gab yet either, but we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll make some some quesadillas at home. That's what
You're gonna make quesadillas at home and bring them?
Yeah. Oh no, to my house, dude.
Okay, gotcha.
I do want to pose this question to Janet and to Sue. Like, who's sharing space with you when you're having these intimate cookout carne asada moments with your folks?
I mean, I invite everybody. In fact, a couple of years ago, I had a Friendsgiving, and it's also my dad's birthday. So I invited my parents, and I invited like the entire neighborhood. I just enjoy having like a mix of old and young, new friends, old friends. Like I like to have like a big party.
Yeah, I would say the same. I mean, at first it was mostly my family because we're a lot of people.
Explain a lot for me. Please paint a picture.
Well, surprisingly, most of my family in Uruguay did immigrate to Houston, Texas. So like my 3 aunts and my 8 uncles, and then like their wives, and then like all my cousins. I don't know. It just goes on forever.
Soccer team.
Yeah.
Like many Latino families, Yeah.
But then later, like once we all started growing up and kind of distancing, definitely it was mostly like family friends and my mom's friends, my adopted aunts and their friends. And by that, I mean like my mom's best friend who's like kind of my aunt, but not my aunt.
Yeah. We all have I love that.
So I want to give you guys sort of a chance to sort of talk about your businesses too. Obviously, we're here to talk about cookouts, but I want to make sure that you have ample time to sort of talk up what's going on in your world as far as that goes. So Gustavo, maybe kick us off. a little bit with what's going on with Carnitas El Artista right now.
Oh my God! Ever since we've been blessed, to be introduced and to have the opportunity to have and being able to own a business. Again, with the support that we've received from people that have not just been coming to our business, but have also like followed us on social media, and kind of we've caught their attention with our story of the starting and cooking in a backyard. It's kind of, it is the American dream, where you work hard and you dedicate yourself to it, and you put in the elbow grease, and you're gonna get you'll reap the fruits of your labor. They asked me if I was at a Dodger game yesterday because I have my hat on. Go Dodgers, by the way. But yes, we were at a Dodger game yesterday with Chef Merito. They invited us over with the Dodgers. They showcased a new sandwich that they're going to be serving at the stadium, and it was a pork sandwich. And since I am kind of the king of pork, I kind of said, hey, what about some carnitas? So now we're collaborating with Chef Merito, and we're going to be hopefully launching something as well. The new season for the Rams is coming up. We are a certified Rams house. We're one of the original businesses to be certified by them. And what that means is the certification, it just means that the Rams are supporting us in the community because they became part of our community. And they definitely help small businesses like mine, to kind of reach their fan base, to let them know that they are, helping us out. And that definitely puts us in front of a lot of people. At the SoFi Stadium, we were able to do concerts because the Rams, obviously, their home is SoFi, and SoFi, has concerts, and they use that venue for a bunch of different events. And obviously, we're one of the caterers that's allowed to go in there. So it's been climbing. It's been really, really busy.
Love it. Yeah. And what's going on with Pizza Baby right now? Everybody, did anybody have a chance to try some of that pizza? Wasn't it so good? Seriously.
So Pizza Baby is a baby. We just opened in January, and actually our lease is up at the end of September in the Ghost Kitchen. So it's actually going to be a big transition moment. Like, I don't think we're going to renew our lease because all those things you've heard about ghost kitchens, kind of true, and especially doubly hard for small business. So I think post end of September, we're definitely going to be popping up. We have a couple spots in Culver City, like at wine bars. And then I'm not sure, like maybe looking for like a little storefront to do slices, things like that.
Wonderful.
So,
wonderful.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit really quickly for those, who, other than what they tried today, some of the pizzas that you offer? Because they're just so unique and special, and I love them so much. So I want more people to know about them.
So we call ourselves Asian American Pizza, but we do classics, but we also do things just kind of from our childhood. So like my partner Robin is Filipina, and she does like a calamansi braised pork belly with mang tomas, which if you're Filipino, it's like a liver, vinegar, onion condiment. It sounds crazy, but it's so good. And then we put like a clam chowder pizza on the menu also, and that's kind of just from like my childhood. My father, Korean immigrant, he loved fish and chips and clam chowder. Like obsessed. We had so many cans of the hearty Campbell soup, New England clam chowder with the potatoes. Like, I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and so I just wanted to like encapsulate that on a pizza as like kind of an homage to my childhood of eating so much of it for breakfast. Because if you're Asian, there is no breakfast food.
I love that. And so you're in a ghost kitchen, but people can come by, they can order online and
Absolutely.
pick up there, right?
Yeah, we do tons of delivery.
Yeah.
People do come and pick up. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's great if you're heading out to the west side or something like that.
Exactly. We're right off the 10.
Do a little
in
picnic
Normandy.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So cool. And Sue, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Sue was just actually in the LA Times this week. Nice little feature. We want to thank the LA Times for promoting this event, first and foremost. Thank you so much. And Sue, tell us what you're up to right now. Maybe tell us a little about Ice Cream Alley and different treats you have.
We're at Ice Cream Alley, which is at Smorgasburg every Sunday at the Row in downtown Los Angeles. We'll be there until Labor Day, which I think it's September 3rd this year. Then after that, it's kind of just a free all. We kind of just get invited to do a lot of different events or pop-ups around the city. And then aside from us doing pop-ups, we do wholesale pints as well to about 8 different stores around LA.
What are some of those stores?
Well, shout out to Sarah's Market in City Terrace. And then like Altadena Beverage Market, Exotics Only Snacks is another one. Honestly, everyone should check it out because if you're a hardcore snack person, they have like all kinds of crazy international snacks from like flavors from LAist that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. And my ice cream.
Remind me where that is in?
It is, you're asking someone who's not from here.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it's like, I know it's going south.
Okay.
Going towards Long Beach.
Okay. I should probably know that then since I live in Long Beach. But we'll find their location.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's what we're doing right now. And then I will be hopefully collaborating with Jeff from Jeff's Table soon.
Very cool.
At his restaurant Oi Bar. So I might be helping him out with his desserts there. And I don't know, a lot of my friends are opening up different things and everyone wants to do some with me. So I'm trying to, I don't know, grow more arms.
I love that. Jeff, I think at Oi Bar actually had a Choco Taco.
Yes.
And you have your own version. So that's like perfect synergy right there. Only in LA.
He called me the other day too and was like, do you know I made my own Choco Taco? And I was like, I know, we're in the same LAist article together.
Shout out to Jeff. Love that. Great.
I want to throw a curveball question, which we didn't study for, Gab, by the way. But as a host, I got to put on my host chair on and stuff. As listening to you guys speak, listening, it's like your everyday lives turn to this business. Like y'all have some story connecting home or a reason why you like started creating this. Can you share what was the North Star of creating your business? Like this is why I got started and really like explain to us why you're still doing it, because it's hard. Where you guys are sharing stories and you're like, oh, I have the next phase. It's there's changes coming up, and as someone who goes through changes, you're just like, okay, what's the next step? And you guys are still pushing through. So tell me, what was the North Star when you started and why you're still doing it? So maybe Sue, because you have a very interesting story that I heard about and read about. Maybe you start there and then we go all the way towards Gustavo.
Yeah. So my North Star, I feel like my story's kind of long. Well, I started baking at home when I was a teenager because I was really depressed all the time and just needed something to take my mind off of things. And so I got really addicted to Food Network and would like save my lunch money so I could go to the bookstore and like steal recipes from books and make stuff at home. And then like go to school the next day and sell cookies to the kids at school. Anyway, and then, I don't know, once I graduated from high school, I just like didn't know what I wanted to do and like didn't really have money to go to college. I wasn't able to apply for financial aid because my mom was undocumented for a really long time. And anyway, and so I was like, well, what's something I used to like doing? I used to like baking. And so I got a job at a little cupcake shop in Houston and then just like begged the cooks to like teach me how to make everything there. And from that job, I just like jumped to like every baking job, pastry, restaurant, just like been doing it since I was 18. And then eventually I got a job at an ice cream shop and I learned how to make ice cream and I fell in love with just, I don't know, the science of making ice cream. I was a big chemistry nerd growing up. And there's a lot of chemistry that goes into understanding how ice cream becomes ice cream. And you can make it taste like anything. So there's so many variations of like, you know, being able to, like brand like represents Latin desserts. And so it's really playful in that way. And I don't know, I guess I just got super addicted to making ice cream from like remembering how much I ate ice cream growing up. Yeah, and so that brought me to that. Then I went and did even the ice cream short course at Penn State. That's like the one that Ben and Jerry did. And I have like every single ice cream book you can think of. I don't know. It's insane. I live and breathe and think about ice cream all day.
I love that.
And we're all better for it. So.
Come on, Choco Tacos.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to say something?
And those gancitos.
Yeah, well,
too.
the same question to you was like, how did you start with North Star, and you're still in the game?
North Star. Okay, so if you talk to my parents when I was really little, I didn't talk that much. They thought there was something wrong with me. So I don't know if I would categorize myself as an introvert, but I am kind of quiet, and I think maybe, and I definitely like to eat when I was, from day one. And I think the way like I would relate to my friends always was like, hey, we had open campus, and I'd be like, hey, come over, I'll make like egg salad sandwiches, or like come over, I don't know, I'm gonna put something together, and that was just kind of my way of showing like gratitude and appreciation and just communicating with people in my life. And yeah, I mean, so bread, I love baking bread. I love, starters and yeast and gluten and all that stuff. When I was in high school, I read Breads of La Brea Bakery, and I made a starter with my organic grapes from Whole Foods. I took the starter with me on the airplane to Los Angeles because I grew up in the Bay Area, so I could keep feeding it while I visited my sister. And
like a
I
pet.
followed, it is a pet, which is
Yeah.
why actually I don't use a starter in right now, because I have 3 kids and 2 dogs and a cat, so I don't need an extra pet right now. And I followed all of Nancy Silverton's instructions and made the most incredible bread I'd ever had, like back in 1995. Wow. Before you had all this access to, how to make sourdough and all those things.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've done tons of different kinds of cooking, but with pizza, I mean, it's just so fun. You get to work with the dough, which I think is the most important part. And I just love feeding people. Like, that's just how I communicate.
And just to ask a really quick follow-up question that I remember from our interview, you met Robin at the restaurant in San Francisco, right?
Oh, in culinary school,
In culinary school. Okay, I'm sorry. But then you guys were both at that restaurant?
Oh, yeah, Pizzetta 211 in San Francisco.
And you were there, and then you kind of decided to just break off and do your own thing, right?
Yeah, well, we moved to LA separately, and she was here, and it was post-pandemic, and we were like, what are we gonna do? Like, we can't work as cooks like our whole entire life. So we just decided to like take the leap into stupidity and open a food business. But it's great. I love it. And it is really challenging, but I guess I just kind of thrive under those conditions. Like, I enjoy the pain. You kind of have to, right? Because it is every day. If you talk to any restaurant business owner, hey, how's it going? How are you doing? Surviving.
Tired.
Right?
It's true in
They're never
journalism,
always
too. I don't know.
tired.
It's true in journalism.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you are. I don't know.
Who's been up since 3 o'clock this morning?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been up since 4:30. Yeah.
I feel like you guys
team no
greet
sleep for real.
I feel like you guys greet each other in the green room, and you're like, yeah. It was the 3 of you are like, yeah, we're chilling. I'm like,
We seen the bags under the eyes, and we're like, they're real.
Yeah.
These are real. These are real people.
Gustavo, do you want to answer that question? Your
So,
North
my North Star, I think, what threw me in this direction where I kind of knew it was gonna just like be it was gonna, it is what I was gonna do. It was just when we got shut down, we got, we're selling food out of our backyard, and health department came and they told us we're not supposed to do it. Of course, I didn't know that, but. Yeah, so we shut down, and my wife and I were like, hey, you know what? It was a good run, whatever. We just go back to work and do what we do, and then our customers just wouldn't leave us alone. They were stalking us. We at first it was like we just sleep in. We're like, let's not. Let's put the cars in the driveway and let's not make any noise, and they'll go away. And that wasn't the case. They would go to the neighbor's house. Hey, do they still live there? The people that sell food? And then my neighbors are like, hey, you sell food? And we're like, no, we give away stuff during the weekends. We have yard sales, you're just not invited. But yeah, so people would we thought that was gonna work, and then we started taking like trips out and leaving on the weekends, and we'd come back to notes on our windows and our mailboxes under our doors. And I just told my wife, I said, if people are looking for us like this, they won't leave us alone. We need to, before we get a mob in front of the house, I think we should just continue it. And that's when we just took that road to popping up and then into the restaurant. And then, when people are encouraging you to keep going. And it's like, I'm like, I heard the story. Your food's good. You should open a restaurant. And I was just like, no. And then it was like, yeah, okay, I think you guys are right. So that's kind of what pushed us in that direction.
Great.
So I have one last question that I want to pose to everybody, and it's about going back to cookouts. What's the one song that needs to be on the playlist?
Can I answer this
Yeah,
first?
please.
Yeah. Okay, so I was like, oh, it's dudes. They're gonna ask the music question, and I'm just like, I like music, but I don't have, I'm not like a dedicated music person. So I was kind of mulling it over, and I'm like,
I feel so seen right now.
I've been listening to a lot of Madonna right now, and my son, who's back there, who's 14, was like, you know what, Mom? You know what the perfect barbecue song is? He said, Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Oh.
He said, because that's exactly what a barbecue is. And I was just dying because, he's 14. So, the Ring of Fire to him is a barbecue.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I love that song. And now I'm going to play it at every barbecue.
That's good. I want to ask a little bit more about Madonna, though.
Oh, yeah.
Who I think just had her 62nd birthday or something.
Yeah.
65th. Thank you. What era of Madonna? Early?
I've been listening, Immaculate Collection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the greatest
Okay.
hits. Ray of Light. That's
Ray
a
of
good
Light's
one.
classic record.
A lot of woman empowerment.
Yeah.
I was just feeling it.
Very cool. Okay. I'll never ask you another music question again.
I got to get better at answering the music
No, that was
question.
great.
I
You
gotta
did great.
think about
I
it.
was like, yeah. Gustavo.
I like country music.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, okay. Wait a minute. So let's unpack that a little bit. What does that mean? 'Cause-
So, well, I grew up listening to Spanish music, Vicente Fernandez, Ramon Ayala, cumbias and all that, right? Which we listen to the same songs every quinceañera,
but
birthday party,
you also-
wedding. Like, it's like, okay, we get it. We know who they are.
You put a lot of corridos, sort of nuevos corridos on your Instagram stories too. So that's why, again, I'm sort of surprised.
It's trending, so, we go with it. But, that's, that's...
I had no idea.
I never mind. Yeah.
No,
corridos.
keep going, please. I want to
So,
hear. I want to hear.
Well, yeah, it's like, you have, I don't know, cooking for me is a mood, you know what I mean? It's a vibe. It's just kind of like, I have to, I'm out there just kind of like, I'm in my vibe and I'm in my groove, and, it just depends. It's just like slow, like, we'll do like, I don't know, Neon Moon will go on sometimes.
Yes.
Just something slow, something like just kind of, I just need to take my time with what I'm doing. You know what I mean? When it comes to cooking, I don't like to rush it, and I just like to be
Just
in
like
my
your
zone.
Carnitas.
Yeah, I make love to my food. Not like that, but No, yeah, I just get into that, and I'm alone. It's 3:00 in the morning. I can't start, going off on some Metallica or something like that, But no, yeah, it's so when backstory to the country music. Like I used to when I was an electrician, we'd be in electrical rooms. It's really quiet, you know what I mean? And then we start playing rap, and it's just kind of like it's not really. It doesn't put you in the rhythm to keep working. So one of my mentors told me, hey, try country music. It's the same thing. He's like, I'll listen to he used to call it Mexican polka music, the corridos, right? And I'm like, all right. He's like, so you try listening to mine. And then it just kind of, I found myself vibing to it, and I would just, be in an electrical room just building out these huge electrical systems to country music. And when I started cooking, it just got me, I got a rhythm to it, and it works out. Yeah, wow. So yeah, country music.
I love that.
I feel like Sue has a big one because Texas barbecue. I'm like, come on, girl, you gotta give us like there's a song there.
In regards to Texas barbecue?
No, just a cookout song.
Oh, cookout.
The vibe.
Well, when people invite me to cookouts, since I've cooked my whole life for a living, I don't bring nothing. I'm not cooking. I mean, I bring the drinks, and so I'm ready to party, and I'm usually drunk pretty early. So, I mean, for me, cookout songs are just pretty, I like to get down and nasty.
Some perreo, some reggaeton. Some...
Yeah, I mean, I love Blow the Whistle by Too Short. If that song comes on, I'm like, it's a party now.
It's true. We've all been there.
We've had those moments. Yeah, I definitely have had those moments. I want to turn it to Gab real quick. What is your song on your playlist that you hit play?
Oh, man. I'm looking at my wife right now.
He's like, which playlist? I have 5 of them on Spotify.
Yeah. No, that's true. They're 8 hours long. And I spend way too much time on them, too. I don't know. What do you think it would be? She's on the spot. I'm listening to a lot of country right now too, as well. So I'm definitely in that phase in my life, also. So that's a big part of it. Maybe a little jazz. I'm a big fan of sort of background, kind of keeping the vibe going in the background. So not necessarily words or anything like that you get hung up on. Sue, you put that the theme song from Adventures of Pete and Pete on your story a couple of weeks. See, I listen to everybody's music stories. You can tell that's how obsessed I am.
You're not just on silent, yeah.
I mean, a little bit, but so that's a good one. Yeah. So country, jazz, I don't know, folk, that kind of stuff.
Like George Strait?
No, a little bit of new country.
Okay.
We have tickets to see Zach Bryan at Crypto next week. So we're pretty excited about that. So yeah, check him out. It's sort of like a emotional emo country, I guess.
Okay.
That's where I'm going. See, you guys asked, and then it got real weird. So. What about you, Brian?
Damn. I'm gonna do one in honor of our favorite social media producer, Chris Farias, and I'm gonna say anything Bad Bunny, even though he's controversial right now. To the Latino community.
Yes.
Yes, because of some gender.
Is Chris here? Where's Chris?
Where are you, Chris?
Oh
yeah,
there he is.
Chris. Yeah. So shout out to Bad Bunny. So yeah, I'll say Bad Bunny, but truly for me it is "We Like to Party" by Beyonce.
That's a good one.
That's a good vibe song. Whatever you do.
Featuring Andre 3000.
Yes. Shout out to Homeboy. Yeah. So we want to open up to a short Q&A with the audience. If you guys have burning questions for anyone or Gab and I, what else? We're here. We're almost open books because we're
just
chill,
on my dad's
nice
hand
people.
go up first, of course.
I'll add that Bad Bunny is a cleaning vibe at Carnitas, Artista all day.
Okay.
Oh, it's a cleaning vibe for sure.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
Truly the ultimate perreo.
Yes, sir.
So near SoFi Stadium, were you able to take advantage of the Swifty economics?
Great question.
Yes, the Swifties were present.
Wait, elaborate a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna start with BTS because they were here last year. So, I do a store run, and then I get a call from my cook, and it's like she's by herself with just one cashier because we're still small, we're growing, right? We didn't have a full staff, and she's like, "You need to come back quick." And I'm like, I thought something was wrong. I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "We're full." So I'm like, grabbing all the stuff, scrambling, and then I get back to the restaurant, and then it's full of a bunch of Korean kids, and I'm just like, "Where's the tour bus at? Is there were you guys visiting California?" And they're like, and I see BTS. I don't know anything about BTS, So I ask them, "What does that mean?" They're like, "Oh, it's a band. They're gonna be here at SoFi." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Cool, thanks for coming in." So then I drive down Prairie, where SoFi is at, and I see the lines all the way around the block, and I'm like, wow. So when I knew Taylor Swift was coming and she was sold out for 6 days, we got ready for that, yeah. I was like, okay. So now, now we're up to speed with like all the concerts that are going on, and all the Swiftie parents were there. While their kids were standing in line for hours and hours to buy a T-shirt, they were eating at my restaurant. So yeah.
I'm curious. Do the music crowds, for the concerts, or do they rival the sports crowds? When there's a game, like on game day.
There's more sports crowd. There's a heavier sports crowd than there is like the concerts, and that's because I think it doesn't really matter who the Rams are playing. People are just happy to come to California and watch, like, the NFL.
Yeah.
And SoFi is, such a popular stadium right now, and we have the best weather, so people just want to come out. And if their friends, team is playing, they usually come like in groups. You know what I mean? It's more like, it's not like, let's go watch a game. Like, there's like, hey, he's going to watch a game, let's go to California. You know what I mean? And we get that a lot. So we have a lot of people that come from Texas, from, from everywhere in the country, and they share that story. Like, hey, we saw you on TikTok. You're the famous Carnita guy. And I'm just like, I'm not famous. I don't want to.
Not yet.
I have a question. First of all, congratulations to all of you for starting your businesses and, you're on your journeys to success. My question is for Gustavo in relation to all of you. So clearly you've done quite well in terms of branding yourself and creating endorsements with SoFi and the Rams. What advice would you have for the other two on the panel that are brand new and starting out and wanting to build their restaurants? What advice could you give to them?
Treat everybody like a king and a queen, because you never know who you're talking to. You never know who's coming through the door. I'll elaborate with the story that I have. I had this lady come in, and she was like an older, like, black lady. She just came and sat down, and she's like, "Hey, sweetheart, come and sit down with me. I'm taking orders. There's nobody else out there." And I came in. I'm like, "Hi, how are you? My name is Gustavo. I'm the owner." And she's like, "Hey, sweetheart, I'm Shirley." And I said, "It's nice to meet you, Shirley." I'm like, "What can I do for you?" She's like, "I need some beans and rice for my Christmas party." And she's like, "Can you take care of Auntie Shirley?" I said, "Of course I can." So I took care of her to the T, just for rice and beans. Mind you, I sell carnitas. I'm like, rice and beans is like, it's offered. So, I don't know who she was. I just took care of her because she asked for the attention, and we owe that to people that come through our door and that look for our business. And it turns out that her two nephews play on the Jets. One of her other nephews plays for the Raiders. She has season tickets at the Rams. She's very tight to the organization. And she spoke very well of me to the Rams. And she just came into my business for rice and beans. And now she's my Auntie Shirley. She'll call me and she'll say, "Hey, sweetheart, I need you to come in, and I need you to, put this air conditioning up for me, because I know you're an electrician." I'll be right over. But yeah, I think that would be it. Is just treat everybody like with the most respect, especially they're coming to your business and looking for you, because that says a lot about what we're offering to everybody.
We have another question out there. I see a raised hand.
Thank you. I was wondering, what is the question for each of you? What to eat, and who do you like to make it yourself for yourself to eat, or who do you like it to make it for you?
Cute one.
I know. I love naengmyeon, which is the cold noodle soup. It's Korean, especially because it's hot right now. And I'm like addicted to vinegar. I take like shots of like kimchi juice all the time because I'm a freak. Where do I go? I used to go to Yuchun, but there's a lot of like MSG happening there, and my feet would swell. I have nothing against MSG, but just the sodium content. So, I mean, I went to Iga before it got written up in Eater, okay?
And they add ice cubes to it, right?
Yeah, or they freeze the broth.
Right.
Yeah. So I like to go there.
Buckwheat noodle?
Yeah, buckwheat. They're like chewy and stretchy. It's like ice cold, super refreshing. You can add a little extra vinegar. It's like a clarified beef stock, so no fat in it. Yeah,
There's
that's
like
what.
hard-boiled egg too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard-boiled egg, cucumber,
Pear
usually
even
dongchimi,
sometimes.
so like
Yeah.
white kimchi. Yeah, it's so good. I know it sounds gross. My husband still refuses to try it, but
It's great.
Honestly, I know it sounds really basic, but tacos. I can literally eat tacos every single day. And being from Houston, I don't know why, but there's always like a Tex-Mex and Cali-Mex rivalry. And I feel like they're totally two different things. I still love them both, but just to talk smack, I will say LA, from the tacos I've had in California, especially LA, like Texas has nothing on the taco game out here, like at all. I've never like been in a city where I can have like so many different kinds of tacos, you know, and people who specialize in like people who specialize in specific kinds of meat. And they're like, oh, I do the al pastor thing, I do carnitas, I do goat birria, or like I even learned about new meats just like from eating tacos in LA. So I mean, as far as like favorite place to go get tacos, I don't think that I can like answer that question without getting beat up.
What about in your neighborhood in Koreatown or anywhere around
In
there?
Koreatown? No, I usually have to drive out of my area. There is really great food in Koreatown. I'm not like hating on Koreatown, but to get tacos, usually I will go to the east side. Was really addicted to El Russo for a while.
Shout out to El Russo.
Not the one on Echo Park. I know they're still the same dude, but I would go to the one on the east side where it was between the two warehouses.
Yeah.
Also, Tacos Árabes over there, the original Tacos Árabes. I really like them because my brother lived in Puebla, Mexico for like 8 years. And so when I would visit, I'd have Tacos Árabes, and no one in Texas was making that stuff. And then I think they're the only ones doing it in LA that I know of. And so that was kind of nice to be like, oh, I can have it here now.
Can you explain what to people in case they haven't had them before? What a taco árabe is?
To my best knowledge. So pretty much it's almost like al pastor, where everything's like on the trompo. But the meat is spiced the same way like Euro meat is spiced.
Yeah.
And the tortillas are a lot thicker. So it's almost as thick as pita bread, but not quite. And they're still made like tortillas. Anyway, Oaxacan cheese, really extremely spicy salsa. Usually like habanero salsa, I want to say, because it's like definitely a lot spicier than other stuff. That's the best way I can describe it.
Great.
I mean, I did like look into the history of it. Like, well, I know Mexico City claims it, but I think that al pastor was originally created in Puebla because there's a huge Turkish community there, and like immigrants from Turkey who brought like Euro meat and stuff like that, and the shawarma. And being that pork is so popular in Mexico, that's why they started doing the pork trompos instead. And that's how the name Tacos Árabes, Árabe means like someone from the Middle East.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a whole thing on that. Tacos is the final answer.
Gustavo.
No lie, pizza and ice cream.
Oh.
Okay. You
We didn't pay him to say
friends
that,
here.
everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been extra nice to the girls for, you
Yes.
know, because I know what I want. Yeah, pizza for sure. It was a treat for us growing up. It was 7 kids, you know, growing up in my household. I have two older brothers, a younger brother, and 3 younger sisters. So, you know, we were raised very humble, and having pizza once a month for us was like a super treat. And I remember we used to order with like all the veggies and like pepperoni and sausage on it. And we were just happy we were eating pizza, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like a childhood, treat for me. So when I have a craving, it doesn't matter. It can go away with pizza and ice cream for sure.
Great, thank you. Can we give
Wait,
a round of
wait,
applause
wait,
to our guests real quick? Thank you. Sue, we're going to add something?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what's your favorite ice cream?
Pistachio.
Okay, but from who?
Fancy.
You. From you.
You don't
I
have
haven't tried it, but yeah. No, I don't know what, like
No,
you said,
I mean, like,
I don't
if
want to
you
get
have a
beat up
favorite
either,
brand.
Good answer.
Baskin Robbins, you know what I mean? It's kind of like where we would go, it's like the staple.
The nostalgia.
Where else would we go?
Okay.
Yeah.
I ate a lot of Haagen-Dazs. Yeah.
Haagen-Dazs is good.
I'll do some Haagen-Dazs bars, some chocolate bars with almonds on them for sure. Those are in my fridge all day.
Costco.
So, we have, that concludes our program for now. For now, we have something extra, but we want to say thank you to everyone on the panel and some additional folks that we had as well.
Yeah, we want to say thank you to our DJ, Diego Fuego. I don't know if he's in here right now, but excellent work. Now serving who's selling cookbooks outside. They have a beautiful store in Chinatown. Please buy their books because it's a great independent business. Our events team.
Yay.
We want to give a big shout out to Becca and Kristen, Tony, our engineer, Megan Larson, Suzanne Levy, our supervisors. I also want to give a shout out to Brian Feinzheimer. I think I saw him in the back. He takes photos for our LAist stories too as well and makes everything look beautiful. So
And our social media team that's roaming around taking photos and videos as well. Thank you to them.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw it over to Shayna real quick.
Hey, everybody. This is kind of doing double duty tonight, this event, because I'm Shayna Naomi Krochmal. I'm our VP of LAist Studios. My cookout must-play song is George Michael, Freedom 90.
Okay.
Which is actually, at a cookout, the first conversation I had with my wife of 15 years about that song. So put all those things together, end up happy. That's the formula. Okay, so this is also doing double duty as a 1-year birthday party for How to LA, which is pretty exciting. It was Brian's birthday this week also, so extra exciting. And I want to just take a quick minute to acknowledge the staff who are here, which I think is most of them. But if you can stand, wave, raise your hand. We've got Brian, who is the host, Megan Larson, the executive producer, producers Evan, Meg, Victoria, Monica, Erica, Hasmik, Chris, who does social, a bunch of other folks who in many ways helped get this show off the ground. A year, more than 1 million downloads. This show, to me, is the heart and soul of what the future of public media should sound like. And what they're doing every day is amazing. So thank you, congratulations. And not just my praise for them, but today they won a pretty big award. So the Online News Association, which is the largest organization for folks who do news online, honored How to LA today for, I just want to get this right, which is why I have a card, Excellence in Audio Digital Storytelling ongoing series, which is a very big deal. So congratulations to Brian, congratulations to the team. Congratulations on 1 year. Thank you to Gab and all of the other folks at LAist who have participated by being reporters, producers on the show. We have cupcakes and I believe champagne outside to toast this amazing anniversary. And thank you and congrats to all of you.
Yay.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us tonight.